Because Mailchimp lets you create campaigns and automations based on an RSS feed, and podcasts fundamentally work by using an RSS feed, you can combine the two and make an automation that sends an email every time you have a new podcast episode based on the RSS feed. So let's walk through how you would do that. So in Mailchimp, we're going to click Create. We're going to click Automated Email. We're going to click Share Blog Updates. It's called Share Blog Updates. They mean RSS feeds, so it's a little confusing there. So campaign name is Podcast Episodes. Make sure the audience is the right audience and click Begin. So here we need the RSS feed. So I'm going to grab it from one of my shows. I think it's a Company of One show. And I want this to send every week on Monday at 4 a.m. I don't want it to send all the time. It's a weekly show, so it's only going to send once per week anyways. So that all looks good. I'm going to click Next. I'm going to send this to my entire audience. If I had a separate way for people to sign up through, say, a landing page that wanted updates just for the podcast, I would create a segment and I would go in here and select the tag for podcast. Because I don't have that, I'm just going to send this to my entire audience. So I'm going to click Next. So here we're going to fill in some details. So I can leave this in the feed title it'll grab from the RSS feed and the date it'll grab. But if I know it's always going to be the same thing, I'm going to go new episode from the Company of One podcast. I'm just going to put the preview text as the same. You should change that to be something better. All right. That all looks good. I can add a personalized to field, makes it more personal and can possibly help avoid spam filters. Haven't seen data on that, so I don't actually agree that that's always the case, but it could be, so you never know. And then I am going to click Next. Here I'm going to pick our favorite save template, which is this template. And just get rid of the header there. And what I'm going to do is add in some content. And I'm going to use tags here that are going to populate some different information every time a new episode is published. So it'll automatically grab the title and the description for every time that this email sends once a week if I have a new episode that came out the following week. So I can click on this content block and drag it over here. That shows this information. I can give it some content above here. Here's the latest episode. Click Save. So let's actually talk about this a little bit. So this is the markup that we see. But say I don't want to have a link. I don't want to have the title in an H2 tag. I can click Save and Close. I can delete this, because that's just a default RSS item. So let's say I want to have a custom loop for my RSS feeds. I'm going to click onto any content block, and I'm going to say the loop for it is this. So it starts with RSS items, and then it ends with RSS items with an end. So now I want to grab, say, the title of the item, which is an episode. Maybe I want it bold, so I'll select it and make it bold. Now I want to grab the content. So I'm going to put the merge tag for the RSS content here. So it starts the RSS items loop, it ends it here, and the loop means, say I publish 2 episodes a week, but I'm only sending this once a week. It'll loop through this 2 times. So it'll grab the title of each of those 2 episodes and then grab the content from each of those 2 episodes. If I only have 1 episode that week, it's only going to grab those things once. So I'll click Save. And now say I want to add a button because I want to link to the podcast iTunes. So I'm going to paste the URL there and I'm going to click Subscribe to the show. I'm just going to change the style slightly to make it that weird yellow color that we've been using. And then I'm going to change the setting to full width because I want that button huge. Also going to hit enter a few times so It's a bit further space there. So now if we go preview, let's make sure that it's actually grabbing the title and the content. So we'll go enter preview mode. Here we go. So this is the title of the latest episode, How to Become a Total Sellout. And this is the content from the description of the podcast episode, the sponsor information, because that was in there too, and then the subscribe to the show button that links to the iTunes. So that looks good. So let's go next. And now let's start this. So we've created an automation that sends based on this RSS feed, which is the RSS feed from our show, sends to our full audience, says new episode of the Company of One podcast. That is accurate. Everything else looks good here. So we're going to click Start RSS and then Start Campaign. So then every time we've added a new episode once a week, it's going to send an email, an automated email to our audience with the details of the show, the title of it, and a link to subscribe on iTunes. So that's how you create an automated RSS feed automation if you have a podcast. Thanks so much for watching.